Assalamu alaikum. I am Assistant Professor Muhammad Ali Azaz and welcome to my webinar. In the year 2012, I was completely absorbed in the world of hardcore engineering and telecom. Everything I did in my adolescent life was to prepare me for my fantasy career, but I am here a few years later as a teacher and a coach to thousands of university students for helping them to choose their right career and field for higher education and getting good jobs. So how and why does this happen? That's exactly people asked me when I quit my job at one of the leading telecommunication companies of Pakistan. I tell people my answer is simple. Engineering is what I love, but teaching and coaching students about their career and higher education is what I am. The dance what we all do between finding work which we all love and finding work that aligns us with who we are is what I want to talk about in this webinar. So I remember 9 years ago starting my career with my dream job. I was very excited, but after a few months I was discussing about my career with a teacher for career coaching, which fundamentally changed my life. In the process, there are 3 questions which help me to find the real profession for me. I want to share them with you. First question is, what am I good at? Second one is, what do people tell me I am good at? And the third one is, what is holding me back? These 3 questions are the fundamental of my career guidance to the students. We are told early that we need to pick up passion as a major when we go to college or university, way before we have given much thoughts to who we want to be or want to become in our career. As a result, some of you may have taken majors that fascinates them, and others simply pick up those subjects which are easy to get through their college degree or university degree and move on with the life. The problem is your interest in the subject does not guarantee you success in it. That's why I always ask my students, friends and peers to do something that you are, not to do something which you love to do. I still remember 9 years ago a call from HR of the leading telco in Pakistan that I was hired as one of the 3 network engineers for Punjab region out of many applicants. I was joyful and excited. I remember reading about the project. It was about installing the fiber optic network in central Punjab region for the most anticipated 4G technology over mobile phone. The project, being of very important technology of that time, made me part of the meetings with senior politicians, policymakers and top management of different telecommunication companies of the country. Being one of the 3 managers, I was in the limelight. I felt like I had the world to prove. So many of you probably understand that my job took over my life. I spent 10 to 15 hours a day in head office of the telco company situated in Lahore. A lot of my weekends ended up in volunteer visits to BTS sites which were in outskirts to monitor and see the installation of 4G technology. I used to oversee the installation team goals, trainings and equipment qualification. I can never forget a particular Sunday when one of my supervisors called me over, and in the midst of our discussion he asked me that if I could monitor the communication network connecting high profile government institution so he could do few of his pending tasks. I realized without hesitation that this would be my first time monitoring such high profile communication network. The situation felt cold on my head. I still remember those chills going down to my spine. I felt like I was monitoring and overseeing dead equipment and a process which is just running as per the command with no sense of achievement and no conclusion. I was not able to maintain my attention for a longer span of time. So here's the great question. I was going to be a network manager, but my natural response to engineering workflow was not as per expectations. That set me into a tailspin and I felt my career, my passion, my identity was in conflict with each another. I felt so alone. But guess what? I was not. As per a survey, 75% of the job going employees or the people are hiding some part of their identity at work. I was not the exception, I was the rule. In order for me to succeed in these telecom niche that I cared so much about, I had to hide my feelings, my fears, my insecurities, probably my identity itself a lot of time. I was not satisfied. One day I got off the couch and realized it's time to ask for help. And that was when I got appointment from one of my friend's teacher and an experienced career coach. In our work together, I realized how important it is for all of us to tune out the social pressure to find what we love and tune in something more significant for your career, your life, and that is who you actually are. It's never too late, it's never too early for you to ask for help. My second question for you to ask yourself is, what do people tell me I am good at? So some of you are here maybe thinking that, okay, we don't know what our values are and what we are good at, but it's not that difficult. Take an inventory of what people tell you you are good at. Do friends turn to you for some sort of advice? Or do your professor and colleagues praise you for something special about you at work? Or how about this? Do people ever ask you to teach them something that you seems to know well? These are some of the moments that shed light on your natural talent, and the workforce needs them. Often I get students ages from 16 to 30 and they are so worried about finding their passion that they completely overlook their natural skill. I, for one, was so focused on finding my passion that I completely overlooked my natural talent for the job hunt. That was the reason that I, for one, was so focused on finding my passion that I completely overlooked my natural talent for the job hunt. In the span of last 3 weeks, I've been part of 20 webinars from speakers around the globe talking about job prospects of fresh graduates and future of work. I had meeting with several HR managers and discussed about what do they see while interviewing candidates and which selected people are the most successful in their later professional life. They all answer that those who find a job not as according to what they love, but who they actually are the most successful. As a teacher and as a coach, I got several phone calls from all these students, friends, and people who know me through a reference or directly, who wanted to get advice on their higher education choices, career, and it's amazing that what our conversation did for their lives. It's an honor. I was loving the fact that they would call me and tell me that our conversations empowered them to get raises at work, to get job offers after a stale job hunt. But more than being empowered, I was clear. I'm a teacher, student counselor, and a career coach. On the way to finding my passion or job in my passion, I found something much more significant: who I am. Don't be so blinded by your passion that you overlook who you are. Those who will pay attention will find it. My final question for you to ask yourself is, what is holding you back? And this is the most important question. But a lot of my students and friends whom I ask this question come to me and tell me they don't want to talk about this question. And I'm just like, here's the thing. We have up to 70,000 thoughts each day, and up to 90% of your thoughts are repeat offenders, according to the research at UCLA. Looks like we are all sitting together on a thought carousel, just going around with the exact same thing over and over again. So many of these thoughts may be holding you back in your career, and that's why I ask a lot of my students, friends, to keep a journal for 2 weeks where they share with me that what are the fears, what are the thoughts that continuously suppress them. And guess what? Everyone's thoughts are the same. I am not good enough. These words keeps you back at your career. These words keep your career bar low and keeps you striving for less in your life. If you simply pay attention to these words or fears, you will rise above them. Because it's one thing for you to hang out with your fears or hang out above them. It's a whole another thing to live in it. And you are not your thoughts. If you open your emotional backpack and you question yourself, you will find jobs in the directions of who you actually are. Reason of sharing my experience with you, I remember that voice in my head at network engineering job that okay Ali, this is not you. And that's when these three questions saved my life and will save you when you are stuck and you don't know where else to go. So ask yourself these three questions. What am I good at? What do people tell me I am good at? And what's holding me back? If you ask yourself these three questions, you'll be able to do more of what you are doing just now or what you just love to do. Talk to people, talk to your friends, talk to your professors, hire a career consultant, but don't be afraid to ask questions, because when you do, you will be able to embrace a career, a profession, and success that is waiting for you. Thank you.